Hey, it is your buddy, Peace and Harmony with you here today. Much love going out to all the beautiful empowered harmonizers. And we're zooming in and focusing in a little bit more in depth on how to speak to a narcissist. How do you define your boundaries with someone who has become toxic? For someone who basically you're just waking up to the experience of being invalidated by feeling really that you've had enough. You don't want it, you can't take it anymore. You're at that space where you need to change up your game, the way that you are communicating with this person. And to find the words is going to take a lot of courage. It's going to take an energy shift. You're going to need to come at the experience in a very objective format. And especially if it's been building up for some time, you need to be able to deliver the words in a very matter-of-fact tone. And not one that throws weakness on yourself or one that throws weakness on the other person. It's just stating as a matter of fact. And for example, this situation has become too toxic. I need some time away. I need some time to unplug from this. I need some time away from this drama. And when you make that boundary clear, you're showing that you value yourself. So unequivocally, when we're talking about a relationship with a covert narcissist or a psychopath, unequivocally, you have made them a priority in your life where you are not the priority. Your expression of your feelings, of your needs, of how you want to be respected has not been met with open ears, open hearts, open arms. You have experienced a sense of being rejected, yet staying in the energy. And when this happens, people begin to get an experience of being depersonalized or dehumanized, or feeling sort of like a separate false self. In other words, that they have to be false then around this person in order to coexist. They need to ha 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 at their jokes. They need to nod their head, oh yeah, at whatever story it is that they're saying. They're needing to kind of suppress their feelings. They're living sort of in like a split off or splintered off self, which is split out from your authentic feelings, your authentic wishes of communication. You're feeling that you need to be fake around them, or you're feeling uncomfortable. This pretty soon becomes depersonalized or dehumanized feeling to yourself. And pretty soon, you're going to need to confront this. It's going to become obvious to yourself. It's going to become obvious to others. You might be disruptive and then just sort of unbottle it or uncork it at the wrong times. And then you feel like you're making a fool of yourself. And then you need to seek, apologies and forgiveness. And I can't believe I did that. And I'm so sorry. And, but yet the core has not been resolved. The core issue has not been resolved. So in order to confront a narcissist or a malignant narcissist or a psychopath is to understand the cause, this created this effect of sort of this splintering off, and look at the record of time that has been created. Look at really sort of what you've done and said, which has caused you to lose face to yourself and lose grace to yourself, and then perhaps do some things which were unsavory to you, unsavory to other people. And furthermore, realize that it's because you've had to be a counterforce to the force of this personality type that's caused a lot of this. So unbeknownst to you, you had to cope in this mechanism because you didn't know, you weren't aware, you weren't awake, you weren't conscious of this dynamic. So you were kind of in the figuring it out mode. So you need to give yourself off the hook and begin to, give yourself some forgiveness. And chances are you've already sort of burned some bridges, or you've, gotten to a place where things have been uncomfortable and you need to confront the situation and you really need to do something different. So communicating that you need some time off, you need some time away, you need some time for things to settle down is not going to get you an adverse reaction. Oftentimes, it's most difficult for the individual who's been manipulated, though, to enforce this because they're so afraid of losing time with this person. This person has become more important, their perspective, their needs, their values fitting into and accommodating their schedule, their desires, their wants, has created this big gap within yourself. Not only the gap in the relationship between the two of you and the feeling that you've had to, create perhaps this persona, this false self, which could be, very subconscious, or you're now just discovering it, and it might have been created over years, especially if you've been married. You've had to kind of, suck it up. Well, I have to do this because I'm married. I have to do this because I'm a mother. Pretty soon it'll be over with, or, you're always kind of explaining it away. But pretty soon you find that it can be a core fixture of your personality to sacrifice yourself and then put up with a lot of toxicity, things that are contradictory to your true desires, your true self. And so this becomes at a breaking point when you realize there is something awry here and I'm not getting my needs met. You might expose this person. You might, learn that they're cheating about, behind your back, or you just feel yourself like you're living a lie or something is not true to yourself, and you need and really want things to change. And so it's to say, that it is going to be up to me to change. And regardless of what happens over here with the narcissist, with whatever it is setting, I'm going to change for me, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to reduce the gap between my desires and what I'm actually doing. And I'm going to reduce the gap between my desires and what I'm actually saying. And I'm going to reduce the gap between what I'm putting up with and what I'm actually getting. So once you begin to do that, you begin to live in the solution and live the dream. In order to confront this person, you need to unequivocally stop giving them your attention. Stop paying attention. Ignore. So whether you're in the same habitat or not, whether you're in the same environment or not, you need to stop paying attention. Notice the word is pay attention. You're losing your value. You're losing your value in yourself the more you give attention and value to them and you deplete yourself. So it's like a karmic exchange. If you are not paying attention and validating your own needs and sort of getting them out, especially if you've been suppressing them, they're buried deep within. You might even not know what they are. We have a lot of viewers who are just now beginning to awaken up to their interests, their desires, how to re-energize themselves, to go out on the recovery date, to begin to look at and answer those questions. If I wasn't so really fearful, I would love to. If I wasn't so afraid, I would really say. If I wasn't so afraid, I would really do. If I wasn't so afraid or manipulated, I would really become. And then answer these questions and a list of 1 through 20 on the page. Only then do you become aware of these things. So you really have to, it really is like a treasure hunt. It's looking at what has been buried or repressed by this sort of fragmented, spliced off self, if you will, that's been splintered away from your higher self, which is nothing but your true self, which really what you've come to this earth plane to do is to express that joy, is to be able to freely express yourself and not feel guilty, not feel ashamed, not feel bewildered, or that, someone is going to poke fun at you or mimic you or give you the cold sneer or give you the, the proverbial, backslap emotionally. And so the main thing is you need to then realize what is the lessening of the gap. How can you reduce the gap, the incongruency, the disconnect between what it is you truly want and what it is you're truly doing and what it is that you truly have? So if you've always wanted to be able to be free around this person and not, and be carefree and not be worried about what they're thinking, or not feel that you're going to get your heart broken by being ignored, then you need to live that. First of all, you need to you have to become aware of what it is that you want and how you want to feel. And then furthermore, realize what has been blocking you. If it's the looks, then it's the looks. If it's the ignoring, then it's the ignoring. Begin to, identify what it is that's blocking you. And begin to then confront this inhibition within yourself. Even though this person is ignoring me, I'm going to do this anyway. Even though this person is giving me the dirty look, the cold sneer, texting while I'm around, whatever it is that they're doing, I'm going to become this anyway. I'm going to feel joyful anyway. It's to make this declaration to yourself. When you do that, you call forth the energy to actually uplift this sort of shell, which is like a lid trying to keep you down. You're breaking free from that energetic and physical limitation. And oftentimes it's very difficult because it's been developing over a period of time. Perhaps, it's caused an inertia, an emotional inertia within you. So you need to uproot that inertia. You need to get a little bit of passion back, not fear back, because fear has been inhibiting your passion. Fear for what this person's going to do, fear for what they say, fear that they're not going to be there, fear that they're not going to be there to celebrate. Whatever it is, there is a fear that's blocking you between you and your passion. So it is to say, fear be gone. Fear is nothing but, fear is not painted on your wall. Fear is not painted on your ceiling. Fear is not coming out of your faucet, but your imagining makes it so. Your worry makes it so. You create it to be. So knowing that you create this fear, you also create this joy. And so as long as I'm creating, I might as well create something positive anyway. As long as I'm creating, I might as well create joy anyway. As long as I'm creating, I might as well create my happiness. As long as I'm creating, I might as well be creating abundance. As long as I'm creating, I might as well create laughter. As long as I'm creating, I might as well create friendships and bonding. I might as well create respect. I might as well create love. I might as well learn the tools and implement the tools so I can get more of what I want versus less of what I want. So when you do that, you reduce the gap. You reduce that disconnect, which is that tension which has been built up. And so when you do that and you get out of the fight or flight and you start using your ability to dream again and to believe again, you unearth those self-limiting beliefs, which, yes, could have been instilled by this person, hammered in and reinforced by this person, but it's time to yank it out like a big sliver out of underneath your skin and yank it out. You have the strength to do this. So once you are able to kind of get energetically that feeling, that's that amen, even though I have been insulted and spoken to in a derogatory means, I'm going to be happy anyway. Even though I've received a lot of looks, even though I've been emotionally manipulated and I've been taken off track, I am on rail now, baby, and I love being on track. I love being on track with my dreams. I love being on track with my vision. I love being on track with my positive feelings. I love being on track with even though I have been hurt and spoken to in this derogatory way and I've lost face, I recover face for myself when and then write down 1 through 20. I recover face, which is a feeling within that you've got your dignity, you've got your discipline back, you're feeling the way that you want to feel, that you haven't been sort of peer pressured into a narcissist conformity to their standards. And so once you do that, you're able to recover a vision of what on track means for you. Not what on track means for this person. You're not acquiescing. You're not giving in. You're not falling for that carrot of the tension. You're dangling your own creation in front of you. But you have to know what it is, and you have to reinforce it for what it is, and you have to go there. You have to seek personal reinforcement. So when you look at perhaps then all the behaviors that could have been created because of this, because of this relationship, I have sacrificed a lot of time. Because of this relationship, I've felt depressed for way too long. Because of this relationship, I interpreted my own self negatively. Because of this relationship, I wasn't able to get the promotion. Because of this relationship, I wasn't able to go out and meet people. Because of this relationship, I wasn't able to get the education. I wasn't able to exercise. I didn't eat well. I didn't make enough money. I didn't take those courses. I didn't pursue my dreams of, getting to travel, or I didn't make this, or I didn't do that. So you need to understand, because of this relationship, I did not. However, now it's my priority to. And then go ahead and then set up your priority. So your priority might just mean taking a walk, being outdoors, learning, watching documentaries, fulfilling your need to learn, fulfilling your need to meet other people, fulfilling your need to be gainfully employed, plugging into a situation where your strengths are welcome, where there's a high energy and you're kind of plugging into that feeling of belonging that comes with gainful employment. Perhaps, you've sat on the back burner for long enough. What have you been procrastinating about? So these are the items. Once you kind of get these and you say, you know what, I have been procrastinating on this. How can I make even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then incrementally going up and uprooting those areas where you've been procrastinating. So when I talk about in the book that I'm writing, how to really stop that procrastinating and, look at where you've been procrastinating, and then how do you move into that area where you've had this emotional inertia. It's very important for you to become aware of that, and then little by little, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it doesn't have to mean 8 hours that you change your life in a day, but when you make little steps and you begin to think about the solution, and then not only think about it, but move yourself into action, that's when you really begin to be able to confront the narcissist and speak to them. And, and speak the words, I'm done with this pattern. Your anger doesn't work on me anymore. Your ignoring isn't working on me anymore. This type of communication and being talked to, this will not work anymore. You're telling them unequivocally what they're doing will not work. But oftentimes people are so afraid, they're so terrified of speaking their truth that they never ever do it. They don't ever tell the person and back them down. They're not able to confront the bully. They're so afraid that for standing up to themselves, because energetically they have not been able to break free. You need to unequivocally break free and begin to say, what are you doing in my life treating me like this? What are you doing at my desk disrespecting me? What are you doing in my house ignoring me? What are you doing, at our family gathering treating us like this? This won't work. Your separating doesn't work here anymore. And if this person does not cooperate with your communication, then you are not worth sitting yourself on the fence for. You shouldn't be toggling back and forth on the emotional fence, wondering why. Wondering and sacrificing your happiness for this. You need to unequivocally embrace your confidence in living and fulfilling your dreams. Unequivocally. You need to speak the words, though, whether it's, I'm sorry, but this has gotten toxic. I'm sorry, but this isn't working. Whether you want to say you're sorry, if that helps you to feel better. I am done. I am finished. These words of ultimatum, of declaring a boundary, are unequivocally the few words, 5 to 15 words, that you need to speak, not out of anger, not out of frustration, but out of self-commitment. In other words, if you've never been there to rescue yourself, be there to rescue yourself, and stop always rescuing the narcissist. If you look back, oftentimes there was always times when you had to rescue them. That's why that's been put into motion. Now, give it to yourself, embrace yourself, begin to deliver the words in the tone and the manner in which they need to be delivered. Declare your boundary, declare your standards, communicate with this person so you can free yourself off of their hook of being addicted to the disappointment that these relationships tend to perpetuate. This is your buddy. Peace and harmony with you here today, and I hope that these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support. Peace out. Have a beautiful day.